Hello and welcome to the official Arsenal Vavel YouTube channel. This is the start of a brand new series called My Arsenal 1 to 11. And we've got a triple header. We've got myself, Dan and Ben are each going to be giving our ultimate Arsenal teams of our favourite players, funny players, players who have brought something into our experience as an Arsenal fan. So don't worry, you're not going to see three invincible teams. There's a bit of fun in this. So I think we'll start off in goal, naturally. So my goalkeeper is Jens Lehmann. Bit before my time in terms of Arsenal status, but I met him. I've got a funny story behind meeting him. I was really young and just starstruck by meeting my first ever Arsenal player. So I think that's why I put Jens in. Dan, what about you?
My goalkeeper, in my opinion, I've gone for the best goalkeeper of the Emirates era. I think it's saying something because he's our current goalkeeper, and I've gone for Bernd Leno because I do genuinely think he is our best goalkeeper, and it's so nice to have that. Someone you can rely on that is going to put in a performance for you week in, week out. So, in my opinion, Bernd Leno is my goalkeeper.
Have you forgotten about Manuel Almunia?
Oh, come on, man, come on.
And Ben, who is your goalkeeper?
Now we've got to talk on human levels. You've got GOAT here, and then we're talking kind of normal levels. Almunia is on another level.
Untouchable.
I mean, they're both great shouts, and I think you've probably taken this one a little more seriously than me, especially in goal. I've gone for perhaps not the tallest goal we've ever had, but I've gone for David Ospina.
Yeah.
Not for any. The brief for this video was players that bring you memories, and yeah. I will never forget David Ospina. His name being roared as every time he kicked the ball up the pitch without fail.
Ospina.
And that's really stuck with me over the last 4 years of pain. So
Fair.
He was a good goalkeeper. He was a good goalkeeper as well. He was a good backup to have to Petr Cech, and
when he didn't drop the ball in his goal. Yeah,
I think he dropped it in his own net and then got shipped out to Napoli. I think apart from that, he was decent. I've got an honourable mention of Emiliano Viviano, that emergency loan signing, who I don't think actually played for us, did he? Oh god,
that was a dreadful signing. That was truly the worst loan signing.
That was an emergency signing, panic that we need to keep.
We've had some shockers over the years. I think this video is going to sum up.
Left back, Ben, we'll start with you this time, sort of go full circle.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's only one that really comes into this conversation, provided he who must not be named, who went on to play for Chelsea, is excluded, and that's Kieran Tierney for me. Future captain. He's already he's 23, brilliant, probably the second best left back in the league, behind Luke Shaw, of course. What's more to say? Like he's brilliant. He understands what it's like to be Arsenal. I mean, we saw that against Benfica when he equalised. He's great.
Fair. Dan?
I've gone for something a little bit different. I do obviously love Tierney. He's only been here for just under two seasons now, and I think he's very much going to go on and have an unbelievable career for us. But someone I've gone for is similar to Tierney in as far as Mr. Dependable, and I've gone for Nacho Monreal, and I think he's a good shout because he was always consistently would give you a 7 out of 10 performance per game, and he was always that kind of constant within our team, and he scored some crucial goals as well. You think to the one at Old Trafford for the FA Cup games, you think about the one against Man City and that FA Cup tie. He scored some crucial goals over the years, so yeah, I've gone for Nacho Monreal.
Yeah, I've got a bit further back, I think, sort of rivaling Monreal for a season or two. Kieran Gibbs, again, met him, really nice guy. I thought it was a bit sad when we let him go to West Brom for less money than we first rejected for him. So yeah, Kieran Gibbs. I liked him as an Arsenal player. I preferred him over Nacho, but Arsenal didn't, and well, neither at the club anymore. Centre backs now. I've gone for a pairing of Vermaelen and Koscielny.
Interesting. I've gone very similar.
I mean, I preferred, out of that generation we had in centre back of Vermaelen, Koscielny and Mertesacker, Vermaelen was always my favourite. I think back to the goal at Stoke. Ramsey got injured and his celebration, he sort of slammed his hand against his knee in tribute to Aaron, which I'm sure he really appreciated. But yeah, I liked Vermaelen, and it was a toss-up between Koscielny and Mertesacker, and Koscielny just played more, so there's more memory there. I do not forgive him for the Carling Cup final, though.
Well, I was about to say, actually, for me, I had the same sort of logic. So Vermaelen was always my favourite, mainly because he was on free kicks, he was taking long shots. It was great. It was like prime David Luiz, but could actually defend as well. So I went for him, and then I went for Mertesacker over Koscielny, partly because I can't forgive the Carling Cup final, and also partly because of the FA Cup final, where Mertesacker hadn't played all season, came in and absolutely bossed Chelsea next to Rob Holding. For me, that goes down as one of the best performances in his career. I mean, he'll probably say differently. He's won the World Cup, but I mean, for me, that was brilliant, and I think he was a really good servant for the club, and still is, because he's still under 23s manager, isn't he?
Yeah, he is academy manager or something. I think he's academy manager. Isn't Bold under 23s coat? I don't know. I've lost track. And Dad, who have you got to set it back?
I've gone for something a little bit different. I've gone for Vermaelen first of all.
Okay.
No, it's nothing bad. I've gone for Vermaelen first of all. I think he was one of our most solid centre backs. But Koscielny, you've got the Carling Cup final. You both didn't mention the way he left the club as well. I think very much tarnished his status at the club. He would have probably been seen as an Arsenal legend if he didn't leave in that way. The whole refusing to go on pre-season tour, ripping the shirt off for the and then I've also gone for Mr. I'm sorry he didn't cost 50 million. I've gone for Rob Holding. I think he's he came, the story behind it. He came from Bolton. Arsene Wenger brought him in. The whole quote that there, and then he's won 2 FA Cups now as well. So I've gone for Rob Holding and Thomas Vermaelen.
That's a nice pairing. I was very close to putting in Callum Chambers, because I think we all know that I've got to I absolutely adore Callum Chambers.
The meme 11 isn't for a few more episodes.
Can I just make a prediction?
Yeah.
Is Torreira in your 11 by any chance, Josh?
We'll have to wait and see. Right backs. I've got a bit left field here. Carl Jenkinson, obviously not the favourite amongst Arsenal fans, but I think he was an Arsenal fan growing up. He signed from Charlton. I remember he got sent off against Chelsea quite early on in the season. We had like through 3 or 4 games. You got a man sent off every game. I think his was the Chelsea one years ago. There's just something about him. I was always like, whenever we needed a right back, I think before Hector and when Hector was injured, and sort of we just played Debussy over him. It was like, just give Jenkinson a chance. He did well at West Ham on loan. I think he's now at Forest. I don't know. Just Carl Jenkinson.
Just Arsenal through and through, wasn't he?
Yeah, proper Arsenal lad. Dad.
I'm just gonna say for the comment section, if we get any, please can you not title this the ultimate Arsenal 11s, because you've just put Carl Jenkinson at right back, Kieran Gibbs at left back, and I've got Ospina in goal.
It's not ideal, but yeah.
Oh, Dad, you're right back.
Right back. I've gone for Bakary Sagna, just because I think it was a toss up between him and Bellerin, but I've gone for Sagna just because he was just a absolute beast down that right hand side. I think he was in his prime, one of the best right backs in the league. Sorry, so I've gone for Sagna.
Yeah, I've gone for Sagna as well. Not too much more to add. He was brilliant, wasn't he?
Outnumbered here.
Yeah.
Unbelievable hair as well.
I think we might have differed slightly here, because I've gone for a 4-4-2. I don't know about you lot.
That's right.
So, I mean, what have you played, just so we can sort of work out similar positions?
I can change mine to a 4-4-2 as well.
No, keep it as it is. But do you want to go central midfielders first or wingers first?
Central midfielders.
Central midfielders. Obviously in the 4-4-2, I've got a pivot. This was tough for me because there was 3 I really wanted to fit in, but I wanted to fit it into a 4-4-2. I've ended up going for Jack Wilshere and Santi Cazorla. I'm regretting not putting in Aaron Ramsey because he's another player I've met. So it's got that memory and personal connection thing. So I really wanted to put in Aaron, obviously, for that and the FA Cup. But Jack Wilshere, again, like we said, like with Jenkinson, Arsenal through and through. I was really sad when he left. It was just really sad to see him go because I think he could have been something. And Santi, I said, I've said before, Santi, at the time, Santi was my favourite player. 2013, I think it might have been. We lost Van Persie, I lost our strikers, and Santi he was quality. We all agree he's just a wizard in that midfield. So I've gone for those two, but Aaron Ramsey is my ultimate honourable mention.
My midfield pivot, I've gone for a 4-2-3-1. So the pivot kind of behind the four attackers, I've gone for Jack Wilshere similarly, and hold your breath, but I've also gone for Cesc Fabregas. Just because I'm sorry, but Fabregas was, for me growing up, he was my idol. He was the player that I watched. I watched him on TV, and he was another level. And for me, that's like him and one other player are just my ultimate inspirational footballers. And so I've had to go for Jack Wilshere and Fabregas.
That's a good shout, Ben.
I've actually combined you two, and I've gone for Cesc Fabregas and Santi Cazorla. With honourable mentions, I've got written down for Ramsey and Wilshere.
Yeah.
But those two were just different level, weren't they? Fabregas, as Dan says, for 3 or 4 years before he left, was unbelievable.
Yeah.
And Santi, what can you? That man, his most iconic moment for me isn't even a goal or assist. It's he went out to take a corner. I think it was against Blackburn, and he went out to take it with his right foot, and Koscielny told him to take it with his left foot. So he put in a corner with his left foot. Like, how does a man do that? I'd trip over trying to take it.
He's just both-footed, like, to the next level, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was some player. I think we've not had a player like him for a few years.
I hope Ceballos would be it, but he wasn't.
Yeah. I really wanted Santi to get like a testimonial or a goodbye game because he didn't. He was injured when his contract expired. I think with the new manager now, I think if we still had Wenger, or it might have happened. But I think we're almost too far gone at this point. Unless Arteta brings him back for a coaching role, and then
I swear he's still balling out in Qatar as well.
In Dubai, I'm pretty sure he plays for Xavi's team.
El Saad, isn't he? I think.
Yeah, and he's won quite a few trophies as well. So fair play to him. He's still doing his thing, and he's scoring some absolute screamers. You see him pop up on Twitter every now and again.
He's just a likable guy as well.
Yeah. Left. So left wing. Do we have a left winger?
What formation have you gone for, Ben?
Same as you, 4-2-3-1.
So do you want to? Should we do left winger, right winger, and then
let's do it.
And then Cam, and then striker, and then Josh does his 2 strikers.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Left winger.
Left wing?
Yeah.
Go on, Ben. Who's your left winger?
My left winger is someone who came in to offset the departure of Van Persie in 2012, I think it was. He had a left foot like a cannon and now owns a kebab shop. And if you haven't guessed by now, it's Lucas Podolski. Brilliant player. I loved him. That goal against Bayern, unbelievable.
Yeah, that honestly, I'm just like, wasn't he asked in an interview, would you ever play for Spurs? He
said, would you rather retire or play for Spurs? And he put retire.
Yeah.
He is brilliant.
He's another one. He's another Arsenal through and through guy. Just you can tell from the way he is. He still pops up on Twitter. Whenever we play Spurs on Twitter, he always puts like, "Come on, you guys," and then like the wing
at White Hart Lane. Quality. Go on, Dan. Who have you got in it?
So I'm going to have to give an honourable mention to Lucas Podolski. I must say he did slip from my mind, but again, hold your breath. But in his prime, he was just another level. I'm going to have to go with Alexis Sanchez.
Yeah,
fair enough. He was brilliant, wasn't he?
In his prime, him and Eden Hazard. In my opinion, he was better than Eden Hazard. I think he in his prime for us that season, he was prolific. He scored a ridiculous amount of goals and assists. And I just think that Alexis Sanchez, we should have won the league that year, the year that Leicester won it. So, yeah, Alexis Sanchez.
Same as Dan. I've gone for Alexis. I think 15-16, I think it was. I was there at the London Stadium when he scored that hat-trick against West Ham, I think it was.
When he sat down the goalie, yeah.
He just legged to the pitch, sat down the goalie and fake shot and then clipped it over him. It was incredible. That was he was the best player in the league by a mile in that season. We didn't even win the league and he was the best player. And it broke my heart when he went to Man United. It really it struck of Van Persie all over again.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the level of love we had for that man. And he sacked us off for more money. And it really hurt.
Speaking of best players in the league, on the right-hand side, I've gone for Theo Walcott.
Well, no, don't laugh because I've gone for the same thing. But go on, Ben.
How long were you thinking of that one for, Ben?
Theo Walcott's a great player. I will always think. Do you remember him being stretched off against Spurs?
Oh yeah,
yeah. You can never like some players, especially when you're our age, give you really good memories from when you're like a kid. And Theo Walcott was one of them who just, he was brilliant, wasn't he? There was always that issue about whether he was going to play up front. I remember there was loads of contract issues like whether he was worth 100k a week, which back then was like a lot of money. But he was always, no matter if he scored or not, he was always head up, happy guy, and you knew you always had a chance of winning with him on the pitch.
When I think of Theo, before I think of the Spurs celebration, I think of that game against Newcastle when he was literally on the floor. We could have had a penalty and he got up and dinked it over the keeper, top corner. It was just 2012, I think that was just incredible. Obviously, tired out a bit more. He's sort of gone on to Everton, now known as Southampton. But it's just I don't think we'd seen raw pace like it before him, and he was just and scored some really good and important goals. It soured towards the end. Obviously, he celebrated when he came back to the Emirates, but I mean, it's almost forgivable considering what he did for the club and how long he was there. Inherited Thierry's number. It was just I loved him. He was one of my first favourite Arsenal players as well, to be honest.
So you guys might find this a bit weird. In my 4-2-3-1 formation, on the right-hand side, I've gone for Aaron Ramsey.
Oh, okay.
I debated putting him in over there as well.
So we did see it under Wenger quite a lot, Aaron Ramsey on that right-hand side to try and customise him into the system. But I think Theo Walcott, brilliant servant for the club. I don't think he ever hit the heights his potential could have lived up to. And for me, I don't think he's up there on the level. Brilliant servant for the club, Arsenal through and through. You've got so much respect for him. But for me, on that right-hand side, it's got to be Aaron Ramsey.
Yeah, fair. Okay. Have you've got your midfield, your cam to do? So I'll let you to discuss your cam, and then I'll come in with my striker picks.
I think this one's quite well. I don't know if Ben's gone the same way, but for me, this is easy. It's Mesut Ozil. I think Mesut Ozil. I don't know what Ben's gone with, but Mesut Ozil. I mentioned my two idols of Arsenal football players when I growing up. Mesut Ozil and Fabregas were the two for me that I always looked up to. So Ozil, I think even the way it ended was pretty ugly, but for me, he's just been one of the greatest players to ever to wear the shirt especially in the Emirates era. So yes, M10 in the number 10 role.
Yeah, I mean, I was very close to going for Ozil. In the end, I went back a bit further and I went for Dennis Bergkamp, I'll be honest. Because that man did things with the football that I have not seen players do with football until Lionel Messi.
Yeah.
And there's also that brilliant commentary of when he scored for the Netherlands.
Oh my God, yeah.
But I mean, this is a guy that, he finished first, second, and third in a goal of the month competition for the Premier League.
Yeah.
He was brilliant. Even if he couldn't go abroad, he was brilliant. So I went for him. But Mesut Ozil also, he holds he's one of those players that I grew up loving as well. So it's completely understandable.
I think I didn't put a camp, but if I did, it would have been Ozil. I think Bergkamp, it's great watching him on Premier League years, but just 3 years maybe before I properly can remember football. I think it's just that bit too soon. But icon at Arsenal, he's quality. So obviously I've gone for 2 up front. You've both gone for 1 up front. So I'll do my one striker, and then we'll do the rest. I've gone for a divisive man. A man who honestly was the first number and player I got on the back of an Arsenal shirt, and a man who broke my heart repeatedly, and it's Adi Bayor.
When I said don't say it, I was really thinking that it was going to be Adebayor, and then you said, "Oh, it's the first name and number I got on the back of the shirt." I was like, "Oh, it's fine. It's Van Persie. That one hurts a bit."
I grew up wanting to play as a striker as a kid, and he was the first striker that I loved. Honestly, like Arsenal used to sell pictures of players, and he was the first player I got a photo of. Not with, I just got his squad photo. I absolutely adored him, and when he left, I genuinely ripped that photo in half. I mean, that's how upset I was. I was devastated that he left.
How did you react in the Man City game?
I was about to ask that.
How did you react in that moment?
I might have cried. And he did that, and then he went to Spurs on loan. He honestly, I don't want to say I hate him now, but there's just it was.
You've
been cheated on in your love-hate relationship.
It feels like it, yeah. It, honestly,
one-way love-hate relationship.
It was so depressing when he left us for more money. I think I watched his first game back, one of his first game or second game back at the Emirates. Booed him. Honestly, it was hero to villain. Honestly, I don't want to rant on this sort of fun episode, but it was a really upsetting time.
We'll get you out.
Striker.
So yeah, your striker. Then we'll go down, and then Ben, I'll come back to my second striker.
It's a 4-2-3-1, but I've gone with the false 9 inverted up front of Williat. No. My striker is, in my opinion, our best striker since Thierry Henry, and it's quite simply Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. I think it's quite easy. You could say Giroud, Van Persie. Those are certain names that ring the bells, and say obviously honourable mention. Well, not honourable mention for Van Persie, but honourable even Giroud, to be honest. But
where are you going with this?
For me, all of our strikers over the years have just kind of stabbed us in the back, and I know he's our current striker, but he's I think ability-wise, he's been our best striker since Henry. And if we had Aubameyang in that 15-16 season, the link up between Sanchez, Ozil and Alba would have just been insane, and we would have definitely scored a lot more goals and won the league. And Ozil would have probably broken Henry's assist record. But yeah, for me, Aubameyang up front.
Yeah, it's fair. It's probably a very decent shout. Ben?
So you've gone for the best striker in the Emirates era from Henry. I've gone for the original, so I've gone for Thierry Henry. If you had to name one player that made you fall in love with the football club, that would be Henry for me. And when he came back in 2012, that was unbelievable. The fact, the rumors that were when he was training with us, and then it was like, oh, we're signing on a short-term deal. Honestly, it was brilliant. It's one of the many highs I've experienced as an Arsenal fan. But that one's right up there for me. So I've gone with Henry.
Yeah, I mean, I think again it's similar to Bergkamp. It was just that tiny bit before I properly remember it, but still knowing who he is. So I saw his first game for Barcelona. I was in Barcelona that year, and he played in a pre-season friendly against AC Milan. Barca won 5-0, and it was his first game for the club. That's the first time I saw him live. I wasn't fortunate enough to go to Highbury. And then obviously we know what he did coming back in 2012 against Leeds. I remember watching it on Arsenal Player, when they used to show the game coverage rather than just commentary, went going crazy. But again, I don't remember him enough playing for Arsenal that I could pick him. So I've gone for our second most divisive striker, who left us to join Manchester United.
So just to clarify, your strike force is Adebayor and Van Persie.
It is, yeah.
Josh, you know we're doing the cursed one in another episode. This is your ultimate one, like your personal best one. And you've gone for Adebayor and Van Persie up front.
I mean, after Adebayor left, Van Persie replaced him in my heart. And then we got a few years of Van Persie, then he left to go and join arguably our bitterest rivals, and then went and won the league. And it was just heartbreaking, really. Like, I shouldn't care this much as a football fan, but it hurt. But he was quality when he played for us, and it was just sad to see him go.
And also, we replaced him with Shamak, so I mean, every cloud is silver lining, right?
Yeah. So that is it, I think, for our team.
I'm speechless almost that you've gone for that front two, to be honest.
Okay, we'll do our manager. So who's coaching this team for you, Dan?
I mean, it's got to be Arsene Wenger, isn't it? I mean, he's been our best manager. Freddie Ljungberg had a brilliant song, but yeah, I guess I've got to say Arsene Wenger.
Ben?
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty obvious, isn't it? I mean, no one else has even come close to Wenger's legacy at the club since Taylor Chapman in the 30s.
Yeah, it was Arsene Wenger as well. I think that's only our second clean sweep.
After Thomas van Marlen.
After Thomas van Marlen. Jesus. Yeah. Let us know. We will put these out on Twitter. Let us know who has the better team. I think we all know it's me. That is a lethal strike force. With the
blood pressure. Imagine the celebrations if they played against us and
I don't know. Let us know your thoughts. Who's our best team? This is the start of a series. Hopefully we'll get some guests on, more famous than us. I don't think you won't get a better team than these three, I don't think.
Well, you might get a better one than yours, to be fair. Anyone that doesn't put Van Persie and Adebayor is already
hurting me. So this is starting a new series. We will be bringing this to you as often as we can, and hopefully daily during the international break, because there'll be nothing else to talk about. So make sure to like, subscribe, comment, share. Let us know your thoughts on our teams, and join us tomorrow for our Arsenal versus Olympiacos review. Fingers crossed. We're playing tonight. Our Spurs preview. That will be fun. And come on, you Gunners. Let's get a win tonight. Thank you and goodbye.